if we need strings, we absolutely do not need strings. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a version of the Creators World podcast where we'll be breaking down the song called the Valley Song. I think we still need a better name for said song. But hey, right now, that's what we got. So maybe it'll have a different name by the time this comes out, but I doubt it because life is busy. But anyway, my name is Justin. I am allegedly the writer of the song, and I got three of the coolest people on the planet here. These are the co-producers, co-writers, really the people who brought the song to life. So I want to introduce, starting from my left, this will be Clay Foster, who played main keys on the song, and we below me you'll see Mario Jackson, who was the MD, and he played aux keys. And then we got in the bottom left corner Ethan Foster, who played drums and arranged and taught and all the things. And then there's one other voice you're here on the song, which will be Deshaun, who played bass. But today, I wanted to talk about the people who initially started with the song, but we're going to get Deshaun in the conversation as well. We just got to prepare everybody's hearts and minds when we get there.
Indeed.
So, gentlemen, before we get started, as y'all know, I always ask some random questions and random games or whatever. So it's summertime when we're recording this. And so I want to do like a little cookout side kind of like discussion or whatever. So you go to a cookout, everyone's going there for the protein because had Deshaun been there, we would have been a pause moment. Everyone's going for the protein, the ribs, the burgers, the hot dogs, the whatever. But the sides really elevate the presentation of the meal. So between potato salad, pasta salad, mac and cheese, and baked beans, who y'all saying what is the top and what is the last one? We don't have to put them all in order, but like which one would y'all pick? So potato salad, pasta salad, mac and cheese, and baked beans. So we'll start with Ethan. What's gonna be your top and what's gonna be your it can go away?
Pasta salad is gonna be my bottom, but I do like pasta salad. But mac and cheese is the top.
Okay. No, you're Ethan. Clay.
I'm gonna go on record and say just scratch baked beans altogether. That's it. Just yeah, doesn't belong
You
there.
have a British father. I feel like that's
I
not.
do, but
See,
no,
I don't think
that
that's
didn't.
cool.
I've
Nope.
Okay.
come to like them.
Mm-mm,
So
can't
what
do
is
it.
it you don't like about baked beans?
Um, I'm a texture guy, and that's just not.
Fair.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a thing. But give me
Um,
the mac and cheese on. I'll take the mac and cheese as my top choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mario.
at the top, mac and cheese. I mean, for me, sometimes potato salad can interchange at that top, depending on what it's talking about. At the bottom, interchangeable between the baked beans and the pasta salad, whichever.
I think for me, mac and cheese is top and potato salad is the bottom because I'm not really sure. I don't think I like potatoes. Like as I'm getting older, I think I'm realizing I like French fries, and that's about it. I don't like. I don't really like. I don't really like potato chips. I don't really like potato salad. I
that's
don't like
funny.
mashed potatoes. I don't like scallop potatoes. Just
You gonna let that go?
That's it. I like
just
fries, and that's it.
deep
I don't
fry
like
it.
potatoes, but I like fries.
Right, right. Deep fry it, and that's better. All right.
I eat
So y'all
tomatoes, but not
are
ketchup.
right. Maybe it's the ketchup that I like, and none of y'all like ketchup, so that's also
Throw it away, though.
fascinating as well. All right. So y'all are all musicians. Y'all play a host of instruments. You have a host of knowledge. We'll play a little game called Skip or Play. So these are popular songs that be in church. Um, Far too
Mm,
often for my taste. And
mm.
but that's me. That's me. So and a couple are some non traditional church songs, if you will. But you guys have to decide whether you're gonna skip it, like you don't want to play it, or play it that you want to play it. So we're gonna start with what I think is Mario's favorite, the African medley by Ty Tribbett. Anybody can go.
Oh, is this like collective or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
individually?
Just individual. Yeah, yeah.
Play for sure.
Play every now and then.
It's a either or,
All right.
not a, always black
Play.
people. Always.
I feel like, but okay, play.
I'll join the majority.
Wow. I just knew you were gonna say Skip.
I don't
All
want
right.
to be the negative Nancy.
It's okay because I was gonna say Skip because churches have worn that song out
So,
way too
For
much.
sure.
depending
Wait,
That's
what
on
why I
who's
church is
said
that?
singing it,
sometimes.
Like I don't think anybody that I've seen as of late has played it.
Because I think everybody's tired of it.
That might be it, but I haven't heard it.
Why I say every
See.
now and then.
Like I heard the record and then it just kind of.
I'd say skip until you get to the "You Are Good," and then we can play that part.
That's fair. That's fair. It does increasingly get better at that point. It's the
Yeah.
never mind. I'm not gonna get canceled. So
Yeah, this
total
is like a touchy subject. So
Yeah.
yeah.
total praise by Richard Smallwood.
Play
Play.
every single time.
The record, or I'm just hearing people singing this. Are we talking about the record? There's a difference. So are we talking about the record by itself?
We are going to put it as close to the record as possible. Yes.
Okay, play.
Okay. So for you, Clay, what instrument would you play it on? Because you got options.
Ooh. Drums, because I do play it on keys and it's still like slightly intimidating. So I would say drums for sure.
What about you, Mario?
I like playing keys. That's it's kind of it centers your focus a lot more and makes you kind of not be wavering, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially for like either busy players or intermediate players, it's kind of like a borderline song.
In my mind, I was thinking one of you was going to say bass, but I guess not. So cool.
Bass is fun on this joint, but if you're trying to aim for the record, it's not gonna be fun.
Gotcha. All right. Hosanna by Kirk Franklin.
Oh, you didn't ask Ethan.
He didn't. I was just gonna keep a question.
I mean, you primarily play drums, so
So drums are a triangle.
unless something's happened since you moved, so
It's cool. It's cool.
all
I
right.
have
So what
my
would you?
inspiration too.
All right. Let's be fair.
It's
Let's be
fine.
fair. We don't want any dissension in the
No,
group.
because
He
I
can
was
play
gonna bring
guitar.
up.
He
The
can play
Bible said there
guitar.
will be wars and rumors of wars in the last days. I don't need a war in this group. So what? Which one would you pick, Ethan?
For that song, I play because most of Richard's stuff has many, many elements. So I play percussions on that jump. I won't play drums.
Fair. Okay. Never mind. This is recording. Never mind. Right. We're gonna just skip my thought. All right, Hosanna by Kirk Franklin. But ask me about that later, because
Oh, I got you.
Personally, I would skip Hosanna.
okay.
Yeah, skip.
Oh.
I found a newfound love for this song, so I'll play.
Okay. God Is by Ricky Dillard. His version, let's put it that way.
Yes, play for sure.
We've done this one very often, so my thoughts of that are wavering my decision.
Okay.
I may have to skip.
Okay. Is he your all in all?
Oh, I was about to ask.
But I used to have that whole exhortation of his completely memorized. I listened to that song way too much.
Like
At
the
a point.
5-minute joint at the beginning. Of the
Yes. Yes, I had it on.
Mm.
What did he say? Somebody was there, but you're down and out. God is, and then they just start. I had that way too memorized. All right, Ethan.
I'm a skip.
Wow. Okay. I thought y'all would have played that. So God is by Melvin Crispell, his version.
I play that one.
Okay.
Play. Also, to interject, when we did the song at Holy Hoodlum, that was probably like one of my favorite times playing this song. Joint was
It's just sorry, not you. Just so for those who were not there, no, nothing bad. It's just Mario used the stems, so there was the guitar and the stems,
Them
and
guitars.
and there were people in the audience who were very confused.
Oh, wow.
Still to this, that's why I was laughing because every time I hear you say that,
player?
my brain goes back to, oh my gosh, he was like, because you were playing bass. No,
Yeah.
which one of you? One of you was playing.
Yeah,
One of you was
Was
playing.
Clay,
playing bass.
Clay was.
But I just remember them saying the guitar player isn't moving his hands fast enough to match what they're hearing, and I was like, what?
weak.
And then it was like, oh, you think, oh, okay, all right.
Oh man, that's
So
funny.
all right,
Hey.
that's what when you started saying that. That's
Not
what my
even
brain-
the same register. Like,
Hey, that's not a
Oh.
bad thing.
like,
That's not a bad thing. If the stems blended in a little bit, that's not a bad thing.
But most people don't know the difference between a bass and a guitar.
For sure.
So there's that.
I cringe when I hear that people call the bass a guitar. Just personally.
Can they call it a bass guitar?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. And for last but not least, Alpha and Omega by Israel.
Aye.
which one?
It's a song we learned in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Just again, I have these records just stuck in my head.
That was a good one that was stuck in your head. Play for sure.
I would play the Jeffrey version.
That is a good
The
version.
Jeffrey Goldman
Okay.
version.
Okay. And that is what I often, when we do go to it begrudgingly, in my mind at least, that is what I hear you often play. All right. So then the last game, really quick, I want you to rank the original songs that we've done 1 to 3. So your options are For You, He Is For You, and then
Oh, the
The Valley.
originals. Oh,
so your top, like which order would you put them in? So we're gonna start with Clay.
Okay, so
Also, just know I'm not offended by whatever order you put them. Let me be very clear.
So bottom for me, and this is more personal than anything. I just wish I would have like produced this better, but For You is probably the bottom. He Is For You is in the middle, and then my top would probably be the Valley song.
Mario.
I was actually gonna put For You at number 2 for me for production. Cause yeah, I feel like it's of course we haven't done like full processes, but I feel like the setup of the song is like it's there for sure. So I would go The Valley, of course. The Valley is like our most cohesive from top to bottom feeling song for sure. I'm thinking production. That's where my head goes first. But and meaning wise, that one stuck a whole lot more as well. So The Valley, For You, and then He Is For You. That was fun.
I think I agree with Mario. 2 and 3 is a toss up, but like he's thinking production. I'm thinking about the way I played it. But
Conversations with musicians. Love them.
I don't know. I love the back half of He Is For You so much. That's like probably one of the better like vamps we've like come across and stuff like that. Kudos to Clay on that one.
To interject real quick, so it is super hard, as y'all know, to like write up tempo songs. So the fact that that came out is like amazing to me. But
Because
yeah.
it definitely was slow. I
But
look back, I listen to those voice memos. I'm like, I don't understand how they got here, but hey, I like it.
look, because like I don't know, it was screaming that kind of vibe, and maybe it's because of what I was listening to at the time, and it was just like, yeah, it
Hey,
just clicked.
we thank God for what you were listening to, because leave it up to me, everyone's gonna be a sad, slow ballad, depending on what's going on in my mind. So
Only one ballad. We can't have 3 ballads.
Right.
But I will say the potential on that one on He Is For You is like
Sure.
that.
Yeah, we got to sit down and hash that out for sure.
y'all sure do. Yep. 'Cause I have
Sure
that
do.
is that is like number 3, but like way at the bottom, number 3.
Oh,
There's a
jeez.
gap. There's a
We're
gap
gonna let you
between 2 and
dub
3.
percussion, Justin. You could dub percussion.
Oh, interesting. All right.
You don't know what that means.
Right. He said, "Oh."
Yeah, nope. Not gonna ask on air either. 'Cause y'all know I don't really do a lot of editing because I'd be tired. So I'm like, and when this comes out like August, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna go back. No,
You gonna say something real like uncensored, right?
Go ahead.
gotta keep myself together.
Question. Next question.
Right. All right. So to make this not such a podcasty type of thing, y'all tell me what's your question for me, and then we're gonna go into the meat of the song.
Who wants to go first?
Go ahead first, Reverend.
All right. So my question is, because I've always wondered this, because obviously we have a history of working together from high school, pretty much. Okay. So I've always wanted to know, if you were to like play with us, what instrument would you play?
Great question.
The triangle. And nobody's playing with y'all.
So let me preface this.
No.
So if you were to be able to play whatever instrument exactly how you wanted it, because I know you're particular, however way you wanted it, and it sounded the exact way you wanted it on every song, what instrument would it be?
Guitar, because none of y'all play it. So that feels like the only place I'd have a spot.
That's a terrible answer.
Absolutely not.
Terrible
But
answer.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
No, because it's like, and I think it's not a bad thing at all. But when I hear bass, I hear you guys, if that makes sense. So like, to me, the bass is a very fascinating instrument, but I would never want to touch it because I don't think I would ever make it sound like how you guys make it sound.
How do you think I felt? I'm saying in relation to my father.
Fair. That's a different era, though. That's like father son. Like that's different. I don't know. So I have thought about that question, because someone that shall remain nameless in this moment was telling me that I should play with you all, and I said that's stupid. And then they continue to try to encourage me, and they were like, well, what would you do? And I was like, I don't know, the easiest thing that I could not mess up, and something hopefully that, like, because here's the other problem, y'all be calling numbers and I don't need that stress. Like, nah.
You can learn all of these things.
Y'all are too free flowing for anybody to play.
This is like the most backhanded shade at all guitar players. Like, y'all be calling numbers, and I just don't want
no. Good guitar players would be fine. They could catch on, but no. That gave me heart palpitations of the question, and there's no like even reality of it happening. So,
oh man.
I would be the track guy.
We need to get rid of this fear of playing with us.
It will never. I barely ever sing in front of y'all. Let's see that. No. Well,
Y'all on the live inbox Justin. Tell him to get it.
This is exactly why you're
getting sure.
Or if you want to gift him with something, amen. Get him a guitar.
No. Let's give me, because if you give me a guitar, I'm taking it to the pawn shop. We need the money. The company is broke.
Wow.
The company is broke.
Wait, no,
not even gonna give it a chance.
No,
that acoustic guitar has been sitting over there for years. And the first time I opened it is when Ethan moved.
Maybe you need an electric.
That's even worse. Nah, because
let's get you a Gibson.
I think the other, and I'm gonna move on after this, and this is really a compliment to you guys. You guys really understand your instruments as well. So like I've seen electric guitar players like just play, but like you guys understand the sounds and like all the technical aspects of the instrument as well. So even if I was proficient, I don't know that I would be able to like the sonic quality. So like I said, it's really a compliment to you all, but
Those things are acquired.
because I watch Mario hit all these levers and whatever, I'm like, what is that doing? And I'm like listening. So anyway, go ahead. Next question.
Go ahead,
Wait,
Apostle Foster.
whoa.
Hmm.
Uh, so with all three original songs, they've all had drastically different starts. Um, which has been your favorite transformation, and also what do you think, like, what is your mind thought or process when you hear the changes from like your ideas to us and back and forth?
um, you said which one was my like favorite transformation, right?
Yeah.
I think my favorite transformation would probably be the "He Is For You" because that sounded nothing like what I sent in the best way possible. I'm also thankful that I'm very a flexible individual because if I was not, you guys probably would
Ooh, we
be
be fired.
fired.
We be fired for sure.
I would have had. Oh, see, this is why it's recorded. So I'm about to call somebody's name. um,
Please
Lord
don't
Jesus.
call any name.
so I think that was my favorite transformation. I think it was my favorite transformation because I feel like the energy that was like it's a unique sound. I just think that song is very unique. Um, which is never mind. Yeah, so it's very unique. Um, and I think it's cool to see people because I think it's very possible for at whatever your creative outlet is for people to come and add to your vision, but they can take it and transform it. And the transformation can be weird, but none of you guys' transformations have been weird. Even if it's something I don't necessarily agree with, it makes sense if that makes sense. So I'm appreciative of that because that's not always the case. I'll just leave that at that.
Glory to God.
Yeah. All right, Mario.
What is? I was gonna say one, but give three. What are your top three pat yourself on the back moments from all your events?
Great question.
Something that's just you, not to do with anyone else that you've done
Oh,
or achieved.
so I can't put y'all as
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You got three. I
uh
should say five, but go ahead with three.
they happened. Yeah, they all happened. That's
We're
one, two,
not.
three.
We're not. We're not doing that.
No,
That's
no.
Try
Try
I
again.
again.
don't know. I feel
I think we lost you, Doc.
Indeed.
oh, how about now?
Check your battery.
There we go.
You
How's
got
a
me now.
check your back?
um no, because someone just keeps calling. So I think that reset the anyway. Um I'm sorry. Let me move back to this. Yeah, I feel like in some way or another I've been trashed at every event. So I think it's hard for me to think of a pat yourself on the back moment. I feel like
Crazy.
I really feel like they all involve other people. Like I feel like this last time I communicated very well to you all, and I feel like the vision was brought forth because of that. So like I pat myself on the back for that, like being like
Okay, that's one. I'll count
very
that one.
vulnerable. Uh, mm.
We have time.
We don't. I see the viewer numbers dropping.
Uh,
At this point, I go back and look at the analytics. It'll be like this
we'll
was the
short
point.
this in post.
Uh, I don't know. That's all I got. Really.
Give me one more dot.
They happened. That's a big pat yourself on them. I released songs into the world. Yep.
I'll give him that. Because the last joint almost didn't happen.
They probably all almost have.
I was about to say,
But this
a
one-
lot
I
of
this
wanna
was
say,
more so.
yeah.
But this last
This
plays
one more
right.
so than
The only ones that have always been a sure thing to happen are the Christmas ones.
I'm about to say
Facts,
Christmas.
facts.
Because it's probably the least, like the where I operate in it the least. So I think that's where it's a beautiful thing. That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that.
that is a good question. Well done, sir.
Put it in the comments.
You're right. If you're watching it, would have been some things that you've enjoyed. I don't know. I also don't go back and watch them. I think that's part of the thing. Like I'm there, but I'm not there. So I think that's part of the issue. Like even when I told you, Mario, I sat down to watch The Last Holy Hoodlum, I only made it like 20 minutes. And
Jeez.
It was a
That-
lot more than 20 minutes.
it was a lot more
I'm
than
about to say.
And it's not because I think that the event was bad. I feel like I was just kind of like, like they could. I feel like in my mind they could happen without me, and I think that's perfect. But anyway, we're not going to go into
Doesn't
that.
even make logical sense.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
It really doesn't.
We're gonna come back to.
In his defense, I can definitely attest to that. Because I've definitely felt that way at some points in our journey together.
See,
Like honestly, like
that's what we think when you say
No. That's not the same thing whatsoever.
it's exactly the
it's
I
same.
the same
mean-
exact thing.
No, because as the visionary, I can put it forward and y'all can run with it. What is read the Bible, write the vision, make it plain, so that others may run with it. I feel like I do that. I do that pretty well. I feel like that's decent. So y'all run, y'all run and make it happen. That's that verse 3 that nobody reading in Habakkuk too.
We shall
See?
all
Bible
run
study.
and see what the
I
end is
feel
going
like
to be.
you're diminishing the capability you have of writing the vision.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, that's
okay.
important. I don't doubt that. I
And
don't doubt that.
executing. the
No,
vision.
that's important. What's it?
And
'Cause
seeing
without
it
the
through.
vision- Oh, we lost
Uh-oh.
Ethan.
Oh no.
It's that out of state connection.
Right. Well, I guess. All right.
Arizona said no.
Right. It got too hot.
Indeed.
It got too hot for the Wi-Fi.
Indeed.
I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna send y'all an answer later. But anyway, since we're here, those were all good questions. That was actually a very good question. Which challenges my ability to see anything that I do in a positive light. So that's always a wonderful thing.
Y'all pray for the Justin, please.
Please,
Pray
I accept
for
all prayers and cash donations, preferably the cash, but because
And
this
the
stuff-
prayers.
this stuff ain't cheap.
They gotta be connected, Doc. Sow your seed as you pray.
There you go.
Yes, but sow the seed. Sow the seed. Sow the seed.
Don't forget the seed.
Don't forget the seed. That is very
we-
important. All right. So for those who are still checking in, I probably will cut this in half at this point, but this is funny. So this past year for the Creators Well, the theme was the Valley. So I felt like I had been through my own kind of multiple valleys, but then like this past 2024, it really 2023 and 2024, I felt like it was definitely like a valley, like course of years, if you will. And I think that was important to share. So part of it, when I do these events, and this is more so a context for other people, not really y'all, because y'all know this. I believe that music drives a lot of things. Music really supports events. It supports creativity. I think that's the way that I interact with things as well. Although I'm not a musician, I hear music all the time. I'm always thinking about how music can like do things, probably by proximity of my friendships. But honestly, all growing up, like I was always, my dad was a sound man in my church, so I just was always hanging around the music ministry. So I've always loved music, and so this year was the second time we made original music for an event, which was scary, but also really cool. So the backstory: wrote the song in the car. Well, I wrote the chorus and the vamp, if you will, sitting in the car eating a Sonic cheeseburger in the Geico parking lot because I didn't really feel like going home that day. Not, and I just was like in a bad mental state. So I was like, well, let me just write some stuff. But the way that the song was transitioned by these gentlemen is very different than how it sounded. So my first question is, when I think I played a voice memo for y'all, or just talked about it. How did you go from these depressing lyrics, in my mind, depressing lyrics, to this very upbeat, energetic song? So like, how did we get there? Because for everyone else, I literally gave them the lyrics. It was December 28th, had to have been at least 10 p.m. by that point. We were going to just hang out at Clay's house and then talk about the event. So we had driven down, and I think in my mind, this is where my self-sabotage comes in. I was like, oh, well, we won't bring this up until like the very, very end because me, Mario, and Ethan had to get back for church. So I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. But thank God for Mario Jackson, who in his pushy ways, he made us at least get a demo together. But I gave it to y'all, I walked away for like 5 minutes and came back, and you guys were literally playing. So how did you go from sadness to upbeat? Like, how did we get there? How did that happen? Oh, now I've lost my phone. Go ahead.
I'll go first. I think lyrically, your interpretation was sadness. My interpretation was wanting to understand God, and so that in itself excites me. Because I mean, obviously, we all know that His ways are not our ways, and His thoughts are not our thoughts, and we can never fully understand God. But I also enjoy the other side of the fact that we can come to Him with anything, and so this particular song was a breath of fresh air because it was just like really just asking not necessarily the hard questions, but the honest questions. So that was really exciting to me, and I guess came out with how the song was produced.
You got
So
it, bro.
for me, well, before we go there,
Oh, gotcha.
so because I really have no idea how this happened because I was gone. Who played the first like who started it? Just truly curious at this point.
Mario for sure. Mario, I remember it for sure because Mario was over on the upright. He was just playing stuff, and then for whatever reason, something like caught my ear in like relation to the song, and I was like, yes. I can't remember what exactly it was, but it stuck, especially
You're
with
right,
the
yeah.
chorus. And I was like, that's it. And so props to Mario because if I'm being honest, a lot of the bass comes from Mario for sure.
It comes from a soul. Let's go.
So beautiful, so beautiful. If y'all didn't know, they're related. So
You couldn't tell by that day though.
man,
That's why.
No, not that day, but the other
The other day.
the other day.
Help us, Lord.
I don't even know what day you're talking about, but I'm sure I was there.
The video call. I was scared for my life, man.
Oh, that was just Mario being Mario. That was, I was very yeah. Oh no, that was funny though. That was what that, you know what, and that's crazy now I think about it. That was quite a way to start the new year. It was,
Yes.
That's crazy. It was.
that was
Yeah,
funny.
I was very much afraid. But
He
praise
said,
God, we've been
he said,
making it.
you are going to participate. We are going to have your input. This is a collaborative thing. I am not in charge. Like, oh, okay. All
For
right.
context, good people. What up, people? This is Mario on air. All of the brethren in this call fail to be present when we all come together.
That's
Point blank, period. So I took the initiative and said, all y'all ninjas, for our church folk, all y'all ninjas is going to be present in this project.
And present they were.
And we thank you for that.
And look at God.
Now you did great. Now to defend myself, I don't know how to be present with these individuals because I have nothing. Once I give words, I really have nothing else to offer. So
See, for the man that just told y'all that he hears music in his soul talking about he has nothing to offer. No.
Literally.
because,
contradiction.
and I think that's
A
we
big
could talk,
contradiction.
we could talk about that a whole nother day. 'Cause I think that's actually a worthwhile conversation. Because I think people who don't play music but hear music often, or think about music, or write music,
Yeah.
it is a weird thing because it's like I only got what I got. Although I do believe you guys have stretched me immensely, but I still feel like musically illiterate. Like I don't know, just play the chords, have some
You know
fun.
what sounds good and what doesn't.
I know,
Sure.
but here's the thing. I think I know what sounds good. I send you slow songs. You send me fast songs. So obviously, what I sent wasn't good.
That's not good or bad. It's
Oh,
an interpretation.
Clay,
You
the
said-
only
Very
You said
much
this is
so.
what I
song that
have.
you have
Let me
sent
know
me
what you
back,
have.
Clay, the only song you have sent me back that I wrote it as is For You. And I feel like that's just because it was written 34 years ago.
Oh my
Say goodbye.
It's just
I just
no,
knew that was
no, because I actually remember you said specifically you wanted this to be a ballad, and I said yes, sir.
I
So
had
we wrote a ballad.
we would have been shouting to that song.
I'm weak.
All right, so back
That's
to
funny.
the valley. So Ethan, you were pivotal in making me write verses. So
Sure.
for whatever reason, I also don't consider myself like a true songwriter. I'm a haphazard songwriter. So like I'm not gonna knock myself too much, but like I don't just be like I don't know. I don't have the focus to just sit down and do that. So when I come up with something and it's done, it's done. Like I might edit it and it's whatever. So Ethan said, you need verses. And this was on that same virtual session with Mario. He's like, you need verses. And I was like, why? And then so I dug into the verses, and then I think I had written some of them before and just kind of pushed them together. But the melody for the verses was all you, because I didn't know how to make them words fit on the chords. That's the other problem. I can't just make words fit into chords. That don't work like that. So how did you like? Even with that, it was very like sing songy, very like I don't know, like sing songy, if you will. What did you like? What inspiration did you draw on from that, or like how did you get there?
Um, how I got there. I feel like it was just a series of progressions. Even with like not just lyrics, but with musical parts, it's a process of hearing the bass, which usually comes from them, and then kind of like finding melodies that kind of go with it. So I'm a very great hummer. So like I will like hum melodies and try to be like, nah, that's not it for this, or that could be some, but I kind of keep going till I kind of find something that kind of sticks in. If y'all say it's good, then we keep it pushing. Inspiration I kind of drew from it. Um, is is a lot of different spots because ultimately this song took a lot of turns or a lot of because it wasn't meant to be fast. It just ended up that way. So even with us creating it that day at Clay's house, we had stuff going with like not ballad, but kind of mid-tempo to slow feel, and it was cool. But I think we just kind of ran with it once we got something going with the faster tempo. Um, and sonically, it for the verses specifically, I feel like I pulled on um a couple. I'll say Jonathan McReynolds and Todd Delaney have that very conversation-esque melody to lyricism contrast.
Mhm.
So I feel like I pulled from there. And also with like finding the melodies, I try not to have everything on one note. So like just finding where it can go and then finding where the words fit, then bring it to y'all, and then we condense the words down. And then that's usually how it goes.
Oh yeah,
So
because I
I
definitely got a couple of them words.
for sure. But I try to get all the words to fit the melody first before taking out words and maneuvering it just to see the possibilities. But yeah, that's pretty much the essence of how I came across that. But yes, I'm glad you acknowledged that you wrote the song.
It was a joint effort, but yes, I had the initial idea.
Moving
But
on.
some plant, some water. Never stop. So Mario, this question is for you specifically. So you were the MD and you also played aux keys on the song for the actual event. So with the song itself, when you were playing, I feel like you're really good at adding color and dynamics and layers. When you were adding all of your bells and whistles, what emotions or feel were you going for? Like, what were you trying to convey?
I would say at the forefront, um, just giving you something to feel. Like truly just how I approach all of projects. I know it's like a weird description, but everything I approach is gonna give you an emotion, right? So the initial emotion was truly feeling the weight of what we're talking about in the verse. So with like pads and auxiliary things, just highlighting heaviness in a way, and accenting here and there heaviness. And then as we're building, kind of the path that I took was all right. We're we're approaching, we're at least aiming for deliverance. We're aiming for a sunrise after the sunset kind of situation. So from there, we get more excited, so to speak. Not like jumping and jolly, but we're progressing. So
Mhm.
more elements have to pique your interest and get you moving and get you to feel the turnaround.
So,
And I'm sorry,
no, go
just a
ahead.
quick note on that. So when you listen to this, and this is how I know Mario's a drummer. So between the verse,
Allegedly.
See, I was about to say, somebody
Crazy.
give me my props.
Right.
between between the verse, the chorus, and the vamp, if you listen real closely, he switches and adds in the drum programming. And I thought this was like super dope that even in the smallest of things that probably nobody will even notice, there was that much progression in, how he approached the production of it. And that's just like hats off to you because honestly, like a lot of people would just put a loop on and let it go. But obviously to that point that you just made, like every single aspect of the song, um, had some kind of forward progression to, that the area of hope.
For sure.
So that's off to you, man. You did a great job. Great job, man.
Appreciate you, Doc.
That's what's
Yes,
up.
sir.
Now you gotta point it out to me now. 'Cause I was like, oh.
I guess hearing it live, you may not have felt it as much because you're just hearing loop as loop and drum as drum. But paying attention to the mix down is where I tried to highlight it more. So once y'all hear that, it just generally, truly, you can't in song making, you can't feed someone the same thing for 5 minutes.
That's very true.
If
You
you're
get bored
doing
whether you realize it or not. Like even if
Yeah.
you're singing along to it or clapping or whatever, like there's a part of you that has more than likely left. Because humans just need to be. It's not even a bad thing, but humans need to be entertained, for lack of better words, um, and engaged in what's happening. So when you switch up stuff, um, which I feel like is why this song is so memorable to me, is that as the song goes on, like I can hear the distinct lines and changes, which is really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So Clay, so this question's for you. So you played main keys, and I feel like you are. How do I say this? It's not a bad thing, but I feel like you're a very structured person. That doesn't mean that you're not like able to flow, because that's not what I'm saying. But like songs have what would be like a sequence, if you will. With this given song, I remember the verses. I wouldn't say they meant a lot to you, but you were focusing a lot on them when we were talking to like that day. So like
Yeah.
now that you've heard it live, would you have, if we were to reproduce the song, rearrange it, would you have kept the verses in succession like we had them? Would you do a verse, go to a chorus, go back to a verse? Would we still change keys? Like, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah. And it's funny because I literally listened to it probably a couple days ago. Listened to it back. I wouldn't change a thing. Honestly, because of the way it was written, you can't really approach it. I don't want to say a standard way. But there needs to be a level of care taken to how this is progressing, because it's a full-blown story, in my mind, as all songs should be, but this
It's a
this
whole
to
other
me
conversation.
yeah, this to me was a different kind of story. So the key changes, so for those who may not be paying attention, they're all whole steps versus half steps. A lot of the key changes in what we deem as like standard gospel music uses a lot of half step key changes. This was all whole steps, just to give a different flavor to it, um, to give that element of rising. Also, with having the verses back to back is kind of compounding and building. So I feel like if we were to break it up with the chorus, it would kind of lose momentum. Because I know a lot of songs, again, not a bad thing. It's just how the
The
structures have
standard,
been over the years.
industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But I enjoyed that we stayed with the verses, hung around in the chorus, and really let you feel the chorus, and then boom, drop the hope at the end. So all that to say, I wouldn't change a thing. I love the way it came out. Like I said before, this was one of my favorites for sure. Just from all aspects.
Ethan, you are the biggest dreamer of this group by far. Your brain operates on a whole different spectrum and wavelength, which is also a very good thing, not a bad thing.
I respect
where,
it.
where would you want to like limitless possibilities? So there's really two questions. If you could send this song to anybody, as far as like an artist that's dead or alive, to sing it, like be the voices behind it, who would you pick? And then two, who or like what possibilities do you see with this song going forward?
Um,
And since I dropped my phone
wow.
with my notes, I'm really whatever questions come to my mind now. So let's have some fun.
Um, that's a great question. And thinking about the creation of this song, um, melodically, uh, even in like the verses and like the any part of the song where there is singing, um, the melodies are very I pull from a lot of different like praise and worship leaders as well. So I necessarily I could give it to like that big name um in gospel in general. Um but I don't know. I feel like I'd probably give it to like a gospel artist that's more on the obviously most gospel artists are worship leaders.
Mhm.
But one like most ones who are like we've known like we got to know them from leading worship. So I'd probably give that
Gotcha.
song to I wouldn't even know to name off top. Where I could see it going, Limitless. Um the the message behind this song and the chant that is brought forward with the there's hope for you to um finding God to be true um for all his works being good. I see that as a I can see any and everybody singing that in one space just as a loop. Um, because the message is universal. So I wouldn't want to box it in by just placing it in a arena or a big venue, but rather just it being um uh an anthem per se.
Cool.
For sure. And what came to mind off of that question
Mhm.
was echoing the anthem part and some possible like collaborators to heighten the anthem. I wouldn't think of giving it away or like someone else carrying the message, if that makes sense. I feel like it would be like a fabricated feel if it were to be transferred, so to speak. Just because this is so close to your home, but like possible
I'm ready for it to not be.
possible collaborators like features. I could hear Daryl and J Mac, the Granos, on here. Like not their record, but I can hear them chiming in with the
Beast.
message.
That'd be cool. It definitely needs somebody to drive it, and that is not me. Uh, that's just not. Know yourself. I'm just being honest. I can commit to singing the verses for the rest of my life, and then I want to stop. And then that's truly, and that's currently my plan for August. Just letting y'all know. And then I'll just Pass it on over. Um, so I guess this was the first time I feel like we've all done the song together, if you will. Because in the past, it's been like I'll just send a voice memo. At some point, y'all end up working on together, which is great. I feel like what I guess what advice or lessons learned would y'all have for other artists, musicians, producers out there based upon like just working with individuals? Because I think again, you all know this, but those watching may not. Even though they're family, these are three very different individuals in their way they think, the way they process, skills, things of that nature, like just where their natural bends and stuff like that. So even though they're family and they work well, they're not the same person. So, what advice would you have for collaborating in this type of work?
I'd like to go first on this one just because I feel like this is such a important aspect of the creative collaborative process, which is leaning into the tension of creating because um there there can be various creative disagreements, um but they're not for nothing. I'll say that. And obviously with family we all have that love and respect for each other, but that first call or whatever where we were hashing stuff out, it did get tight at some moments of the creative process,
And that's
but
recorded on my phone too, just so you know. I was like,
Uh,
this might be good for an unsung documentary one day. I might need to just
we
pull this out. And
but
even so outside looking in, because I'm still the outsider, and that's fine. Um, even watching the tension, I understood it every time. Like when
mhm,
it was like like when you were fighting for a part, or Clay was fighting for a part, and Mario was like because I remember I was just sitting on my bed like just watching like, wow, this is a game of ping pong. Like, well, what do we what do we do, guys? Because I can't
no,
direct you. But I think what you said, Ethan, is important because like had I remember a big I wouldn't necessarily call it a big moment of tension, but was the verses in general like what it was really what key did we start in? That was hilarious to me because it was like I don't know, but it was
no,
like let's change the key, and then it was are we gonna do half step or whole steps, and is it gonna like are we gonna do loop to the chorus and loop back, loop this way and that, and I can honestly say I'm happy with the way that it turned out, but I do think that tension was good because it also reminds everybody that you have a voice and your voice is important, your opinion is important, you guys wouldn't be at this table because the fact of the matter is I do know a whole lot of musicians, um, and I probably could pick other people. I just choose not to, um, because you guys are great, and you guys are family to me too. But it's something I remember telling a mentor one time, and I was like, "Yeah, every time we're doing an event, the three of them get to arguing about something." he was uh, he was like well, why do you keep that why do you keep that I guess configuration, if you will? Like you could probably find like three of the same musician, right? You could probably find like people like that. I was like, it's actually like I'm not promoting arguing, but it's also like I feel like it sharpens all of you guys, and it always teaches me something. Um, yeah, even from Ethan coming outside of the drum cage and telling us to try at a rehearsal, telling us to do better.
do
Um,
better.
that was great. Yeah, that was great.
Do it.
Uh,
Just do it.
Clay was like, "I'll do." So for those who do not know, this was last year for Holy Hoodlum, and we were doing Jesus is My Help, and it was a very great version of the song, but we got lost in the timing of the when to come back in for the Jesus is My Help part, and watching the one thing I also will say about you three, because you guys are drummers, timing is so important to you all. And it's not a bad thing, but it's like, whoa, like
Oh man.
this little light of mine and that little clock of yours, like I
We
and so we were lost. We were the music was busy, not in a bad way, but like we got lost in what was happening. And watching the three of you guys try to lead in that moment independently of each other is a moment I will never forget. And I just remember saying,
Man.
we could just cut the song all together. Like, we don't need it. And Mario was like, no, we always cut something. We're going to do this. And Clay was like, I'll direct from over here. And Mario was like, no, you won't. You're going to keep playing. And I'm like, oh, no.
as he should.
Such a good time. Such a good time.
Oh,
It's a
man.
great time. But finalizing that thought, learn the people you're collaborating with, so you understand the grace in communication. Because we're all at some point gonna communicate out of whack and out of turn and out of what we should. It's just general communication. You're not understanding completely how what you say is internalized and received, right? So learn as best as you can the people you're communicating to and continue to build on how you communicate, of course. But learning your collaborators will show you where you where you need to kind of hush and where you can extend your opinions or kind of not like not like cut others opinions, but you'll learn when some people like Ethan overthink sometimes, so I know when to kind of cut his brain at a certain point, because after that you're going to go into a completely different version, you feel me? If that makes sense,
Because
you
that man be in
learn.
the stratosphere. I'd be like, wait, wait, we're still on verse one, and somehow you don't come up with the deluxe. Like, how do we? What's happening here? What's going on?
We
We-
But yeah, you learn, just learn how to communicate. That's a general state, but especially with creatives, being sensitive is key because our creativity pulls from emotions in our hearts. We're not like robotic in our creativity.
Super
So,
sacred.
right, it's a sacred thing. So when someone hears, uh, maybe not, even if it doesn't match, it's still gonna you're gonna feel that lash on your arm. You feel me? To whatever it is, you're gonna feel that lash to some extent. So just learn how to effectively communicate
Take the lash and keep on going.
at the end of the day.
If Jesus could take 39 lashes, we certainly can take one.
He-
Yep.
That is
Not
very
quite the
true.
same thing, but anyway, gotta always bring it back, bring it back
Got
to
to.
Christ. So I guess it's a question of formulating, but it hasn't fully formed yet. But I guess Mario, you said something about the sunrise. So basically, like giving people the I guess like the Disney ending, if you will. Um, if real life doesn't always give a Disney ending, right? We know that sometimes people would. This is going to get really morbid. So, but there are times where people don't make it, right? There are times when people just it changes, or they will make it, but the season is extremely long and excruciatingly painful. Do you, not necessarily just you, but like everybody here, do you feel like this song gives any false sense of hope? Because I feel like when I write something or release anything into the world, whether it's a podcast, whether it's an event, like whatever, I want it to be very realistic. Like I think everybody can be a mountaintop producer, right? Everybody can be like, God's gonna give you your season and hit new season by Israel and keep it going. But like, do you feel that there's any sort of false dichotomies in this song or like uh over overreaching hope, anything like that? And it's for any of y'all.
Uh, I don't think there are any falsities because this song is possibly the most transparent a song could get, right? So you're starting from the dirt almost of begging for answers, right? You're searching in your most vulnerable state, searching for an answer to even to skip now to even some questions that may not be answered, but there is the hope isn't the hope described isn't an answer to your question, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
The hope described won't always be an answer, it won't always be a yes, but the hope is in who we're trusting in and who we're seeking. Does that make sense? Yet the
Yeah,
hope is
no,
not like a
that's gonna be a
reward.
clip. That was good.
Ah,
Nah, for
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Nah, for real. I was like,
but
wow, that's really good.
but he
And
like not even to over spiritualize it, but he is our hope. And so leaning into that versus leaning into I want an answer now, you'll start to appreciate the story a whole lot more and you'll understand it a lot more in your own storyline.
Cool.
yeah, to tag on to that, um, excellently put. Just to add on, I'd say one, this song doesn't give false hope because it kind of leans into the sovereignty of God. Um, and that's a place that, especially in the valley, a lot of people don't like to deal with. Um, but if ultimately the ultimate goal is his glory, the hope is that, the glory of God will be revealed outside of whatever valley that you're in. So, because of the way the song is structured, one, it outlines the personal feelings, which God knows, obviously, because Jesus endured that for 33 years up until the cross. So, all these questions that are being asked, I'm sure Jesus, in some perspective, had these same kind of questions. So, um, because you can even look at the Garden of Gethsemane, all those questions, and then coming ultimately to, you know, you can lead me, but don't leave me. Like literally, that's that whole experience embodied. Um, so I don't think it gives a false sense of hope. Um, Really, if anything, it aligns and readjusts your thought process as to how Romario was saying where your hope is and what your hope is in, not necessarily getting an answer to your question, but getting an answer to life's questions, which is ultimately Jesus. And that's kind of, I think, what this song accomplishes.
Cool. Somebody told me, there's people always. I feel like a lot of creatives don't get feedback, or they get feedback, but they give like really positive feedback. And I feel like I share with y'all every time. There's always somebody at every event that says something not wild, but like semi wild. Like the person who said that we needed to shout. There was no shout, but someone told me from hearing this song, and they actually reached out like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, which was really weird to me because it was like it's not out anywhere. There's like you've been
Mhm.
thinking about this for since February.
Wow.
Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. And they were like, "This song is stupid."
Mm.
Should I read it? I'm not gonna read it verbatim. No, because no, I can't read it verbatim. They're like, "The song is stupid. You're stupid. I'll never support anything you do again because it was way too happy." And I was like, interesting. And like,
Hmm.
if this person ever watches this, sorry, not sorry, but like, I don't take every opinion as like gospel, obviously, like because you just can't. But it did make me think, like, I wonder, like in the storytelling aspect, like is there anything that should have been like from other people's perspective? I don't think the song is stupid. I don't think I don't think it was overly happy either. But it was interesting that um, that's what happened. So something else that I plan to release the like the kind of just a video of the night anyway. Um, Once I get in, kind of chop it up and do like a Valley playlist, if you will, from the spoken words that was given and things of that nature. When you guys did Walk with Me, Lord, that was the other heavily produced song that night. Everything else was. Did we do anything else? Oh, we did like two other songs, but they were just kind of
Mm.
like free flowing, just kind of regular. We're touch Walk with Me for a little bit. I basically told you guys, and I laugh about this every time. Just wanted the dreary, down, sad. How did you all take those words that I gave, which are definitely not positive words, but still, in both scenarios, create something that's still uplifting, if you will? Um, like, was there any bearing on? Because obviously I feel like you guys executed what I wanted very well, or we would not be having this conversation, or at least definitely not recorded. Uh, um, but how did you guys? Yeah, how did you get to the uplifting part? Is really what aiming at there.
With that one specifically,
Either or.
I would say, kind of going back to what Mario was saying about pulling from a place of like emotion. Um, I felt like with Walk with Me, the the biggest or the main focus was to um capture the feeling of um a dark time, um uh not necessarily, I guess you could say lonely moment, but like a lonely feeling or something like that, but really um dive into the emotion of what we're doing, because uh with that event, with all your events, they all have uh, a purpose, or like a message behind it with a purpose. And so I think to really um make it not sound like just dark, but to embody the essence of um the valley and the going through and essentially coming out the dirt and kind of walk like the walking through of a situation. That's
Mhm.
like that's how I like see how the event musically what it was like from song to song. It was like walking from a situation to another situation, coming out of a situation and continuing going on. Because we went from praise the Lord, everybody, to boom. And that's so real from like how it can be in life, just going from everything's great to how'd I get here? And then kind of going through that. Yeah, really just pulling capturing the essence and pulling from the emotion of what the songs and the event was intended to be focused on.
I would say just before anything, interpretation is such a mind-boggling concept that will never be there will never be a science to it. But I would say if you can look into even for music, look into the creator and inquire about their interpretation, right? Just at the forefront, inquire about certain things like that. For Walk With Me specifically, Ethan already explained the setup of the moment. I I feel like this one contrasts the valley a lot. I don't feel like there was, at least in my interpretation, I wasn't aiming for a sunrise
Okay.
like You're Walking With Me. Ooh. I wasn't like aiming for the I wasn't aiming for the satisfaction, that element. I feel like there was, it could be interpreted through the climax of it, some satisfaction, but I think it was the the weight and the severity of the situation that was represented in the climax. That's where my
Yeah.
heart was. Like, we're going from, and I did this with intent. Think about it now. I didn't even realize. Truly, it was the solidarity or the solitude, whatever word to use, of Clay starting it by himself. That was super intentional. I didn't realize it. But you starting it by itself was like,
Yeah.
I'm alone. There's nothing to my left, nothing to my right. I am looking for something, someone. I need a light. I need
Yeah.
guidance. So now, through the instrumentation coming back in, we're now setting that stage and we're truly taking you from this place and God is here to being like dead in front of his face. Like, I need you to be with me like now. You feel me?
Mhm.
You're in your almost like a calm representation or asking to it being your absolute need in this time, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, you good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, looking back at it, the entire night was extremely intentional. This would definitely, of all my events, would be the most. It's probably creatively my favorite. I think it just everything flowed very well together. I remember Walk With Me being important to me, but I don't remember like on the grand scheme of things, it wasn't like if that didn't get finished, it wasn't gonna be the end of the world for me. But I remember like being very taken aback by the execution of it because you guys did an excellent job. But it was like I remember looking to the right at everybody and I said, "Oh, they're crying already." Like I just I just remember being like, "Oh, this is gonna be an interesting evening." Like we just really started. What's going on here? But I think just what you said, and I think subconsciously I noticed it, but you just gave language through it. Like you did really start it off very bare bones and then built it, and it yeah, coming off of the skit and then the music, it was just very it's very sad, but it was very it was very very good. So yeah, thank you guys for that. Honestly, so at this point, what are closing thoughts from y'all or questions or that kind of stuff? You kind of ask the band kind of feel. Side note, really random. I don't like calling you guys a band. That feels offensive to me for some reason. I don't really know why, but it has bothered me for years now.
Mm.
Should be called a collective.
Sure, just something. I don't know. Band feels very like it feels sterile to me. Like, oh, that's the band over there. I think because, and pro tip, if you're
Oh,
watching,
I see what you're
a
saying.
lot of people other the band and the instrumentalists a lot with events, and I've had the privilege of growing up with Clay for several years now and hearing just his thoughts of like feeling not included in things at times or you're just a drummer or you're just that. So I think in the back of my mind that has shaped how I even internalize and use language around musicians. Um, So yeah, ask the group, ask the people. I don't know. Just band isn't working for me right now.
Y'all put in the comments what we need to be called.
I remember when Tandela said, "Yeah, we're gonna call y'all the Cousins Band," and I just remember like it just felt something immediately. Like I thought the name was cool, the Cousins. I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but just stop it there. The band, I was like, "Ooh, this is an ick," and I don't know why. And it is, yeah. So anyway, any final thoughts, questions, remarks?
Um, Final thoughts. First of all, check the song out. It's amazing, and I think there's something in there for everybody. I think it'll truly bless you. I'm not saying that because we had a hand in it. Truly, that was God. The whole process, if you really look at it, was truly God working and interweaving, what you will hear as the finished project. Also, um, I would like to say, from my standpoint, working on this project with you all was truly a blessing. Kind of going, I guess, back to the um, comments of like what you would say to different um, bands working together, creators working together. Your input is valuable. Um, Never diminish the smallest of input that you may think you have, um, because that small input could be the turning point, um, to where the overall project needs to go. Um, and so shout out to, again, Justin and Romario for kind of keeping us all grounded in it, to really, I guess, push forward. Because had that evening not happened, I'm not sure we would have had the same product that we have now. So again, don't diminish whatever input you have. It may not be accepted, but the mere fact that you put something out there will give you that unction to give something else out. And that next idea may be accepted, or the one after that. But again, just keep spitballing what you have, because you never know um, how it can affect the overall project. So
And branching from that, you learn what to input in each space you enter. So every space is going to be different. So even in this space, it's truly by song or by moment. Like what you have to offer will truly vary, if that makes sense. Like melodies, if you present those, they may be accepted on Saturday, but when we review on the next Tuesday, it may be like, but that doesn't discredit the the importance of your voice, of your say. But building that muscle to say helps you build that muscle now to learn what to say and how to say in each situation and what is most effective given the circumstance.
Indeed. Definitely go check out the song. Uh, I'll just kind of piggyback off what they're saying with a couple things. I feel like as this pertains to the collaboration aspect of it, and trying to um create a product, um collaboration, no matter who you have in the room, is going to take work. And y- your greatest idea for how you perceive it may not be the right thing. Um, Not telling you to like, not saying like if you throw out an idea that it's the end all be all. But in collaboration, what what you may bring to the table sometimes may not be the right thing for the project. Um, but in that same with that same not harsh, but the reality of that, um, learn to listen. Because without that, I feel like, and even just in general, working with the three of them, and Deshaun, like none of the stuff that has um come out and form of these events um would would it wouldn't be how we all relate to it in such a way if um if we find it if we didn't um find the way to uh, make it work in a sense. um and a lot of the best stuff that has come out of working with them has gotten ugly at times, or we've been in a very hot garage 4 hours just going back and forth. um
Somebody,
but
somebody sow a seed for the installation fund.
Please, please. Public
Kendra.
service announcement. If you want to deposit a seed for insulation, drywall, and an
I
air
would.
conditioning unit in my garage, I would greatly
I just remember
appreciate
being
it.
like,
And your
Oh
oh,
prayers.
man.
I'm not built for this. If this is what it means to be a creative, I
No.
can't do it.
Uh,
No.
I hope you're not going out there this week. This next week is supposed to be terrible.
Look, I went in there this evening and I was like, no. No. I can't go to hell, man. This is too much.
You gotta live
I
right.
can't.
oh man.
I'm sorry, E.
No, you good. But with all that being said, it all that does matter. Um, and just yeah, listen to like the creatives you're working with. Um, listen to what the Lord is saying, because these words, this song would not have come about the way it did if Justin did not hear from God. And it doesn't have to be a distinct way that you listen, but um, make an effort to learn how to, um, even if it doesn't look like how you would imagine in the creative process. Um, and yeah, that's kind of like my remarks. These guys are incredible, great creatives in their own right. Yeah, pleasure to work
Yeah,
on it. Appreciate the
yes,
opportunity.
sir.
One more thing.
Got that backwards
Um,
finger up.
oh my gosh.
He said-
I could not. No, for real. One more thing. Get comfortable with hearing no, or maybe
Comfortable.
not this time. Because I feel like, and especially in this process, I had to get comfortable, me personally, with no or not this time, or maybe let's try something else. And a lot of people can shut down, especially in a group setting, um, when there's kind of head figures kind of leading the way, and it seems like you're told just no, or that's not going to work, or you know, something of that variety. But just get comfortable with hearing that, because you'll get to learn, as was said, kind of what will work. Because if you just stay at, you know, no, shut down. Okay, nobody wants to hear me. Then it's just like you've taken away from the project now instead of adding to it. So get comfortable with hearing those words. Know that it's not an indictment on who you are or what you offer, but it's just not what's needed at that moment. So get comfortable with hearing that, brush it off, and keep moving forward. Yeah, that's all I had.
I'll say one more thing to those that find themselves in a leading seat, not even just in music, but those that either aspire to lead or you're led to lead in whatever capacity. Your mouth is your least valuable asset. All of your other senses should come before your voice does. And listening, watching, and learning how your team or whoever you're collaborating with works, and listening and how to embellish them is going to be your greatest asset. Because I'm so happy I got to sit now relating to this last event, Holyhood, or sorry, Create as well, sitting in that seat of not not particularly double leading in a way and being an auxiliary piece, but also having the direction was a perfect seat. Because at times, when you're double leading in the music realm, you're not able to fully lead effectively because you're doing while trying to orchestrate, right? So when you're able to truly analyze and hear where your team is going, you're you're able to now fill in the pieces and of course be led of God as Jocelyn says. But truly don't let your verbiage, your mouth, your words be the only thing that you're doing and like talking at or to people. Don't let that be the only thing you're doing. Find a way to lead without having to say anything. That's gonna put you apart from many others.
Wise wisdom from the YNs of the group. That is amazing. That is.
Please.
I think I don't know. There's something wrong with me. I always have to throw in some stupid humor. No, but that was good. You should, if you feel led of God, Mario, you should expand upon that one day. Because I think that's important. Like, I think leaders often feel like they have to be the loudest, or they have to be, or they have to direct from commands, if you will, or not even or directives. Like, it doesn't have to be as serious as commands, but some of the best leaders are just the best listeners and the best processors and things of that nature. So
Absolutely.
the next time you tell me to speak up, I'm gonna tell you that I'm just leading. I'm just
I will
Ooh,
give
you
you the
gonna take that
grace
one out
of
of
accepting that
context.
answer. See, church people always want to take the message out of
you know that's
context.
right. There's always somebody that's gonna be like, that's not what I said. Just like you said, interpretation. You never know.
Interpretations, yes, sir.
You never know. You never know. Wow. These three all come from preaching stock, so all of them ready for their trial sermons, and it's gonna be
All
great.
right.
The I ask this question another day because we still got to get Mario on the main podcast one day. That'll be fun. Uh,
Sir.
One
so
day.
yeah, but yeah, that's it. Go stream the song. Go buy the song. I don't know how much it costs because it's not out. I don't know where it's going to be streaming because it's not out. But there will be something on the screen that directs you on where to go. But I've thanked them before, but I want to thank them publicly. Thank you, Clay, Ethan, Mario, for bringing these visions to life. I don't personally believe I'm an easy person to work with, so I'm thankful that you all grit and bear each time. So yeah, just thank you guys. So yeah, that's really all I got.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It doesn't even want to end. There we go.